A recent NHL.com article revealed the truth behind Auston Matthews and the rumors surrounding him leaving the Toronto Maple Leafs before him signing his big extension. And Auston Matthews gave some tidbits of inside information about what that process was like. So we're going to break that down in this episode of Leafs Digest, as well as Joseph Woll. He is now looking to be our confirmed starter. So we're going to break all that down and much more in this episode. So make sure you stay tuned. Let's just get right into it because we have tons of stuff to cover today. And thank you guys for your continued support. It's been unbelievable. Let's get into the first topic, which is Matthews revealed the truth on the rumors regarding him leaving the Maple Leafs before he signed his massive extension. Now, there's a lot of information in this article that I'm going to cover today. We all know that in late August, Auston Matthews signed the big 4-year extension of over $50 million. But leading up to that extension, if we rewind time a little bit, we know that there were tons of rumors of various teams, pursuing Auston Matthews, that Auston Matthews was potentially going to sign elsewhere that's not named Toronto. And Auston Matthews came out in this article published by NHL.com in an exclusive one-on-one interview and discussed the whole process and revealed the truth behind all those rumors, as well as gave some reassuring, info to the fans about what that process was like. So you're going to want to stay tuned. Let's just get right into it. So this was the headline of the article. It says, Matthews is thrilled to be committed to the Maple Leafs, embraces the fans' big passion. And this was posted after 2 or 3 games, I believe 2, after the back-to-back hat tricks. And we all know that Auston Matthews was off to a historic start, and he's continued that even past, the first 2 games of when this article was posted. He is now an unbelievable pace, 6 games into the season, and this article has aged very, very well so far. But here is what he said in the one-on-one interview. So he said he always wanted to remain with the Toronto Maple Leafs, despite hearing doubters question his sincerity. And it says here, 2 games into the season, his actions have spoken louder than words. This translates all the way into now, which is 6 games into the season. He's on an unbelievable, 58-goal pace, according to some projections. But yeah, he said some interesting quotes here, so you can feel free to pause and read the whole thing if you would like, but I'm going to kind of summarize and give you a Cliff Notes version. So he says, quote, you see at the top, I love it here, he said in an interview, a one-on-one exclusive interview this week. I kept saying it over and over again whenever I was asked about my future. I'm not sure why some people don't believe me. Now, this is obviously great to hear, especially now that he's, re-signed with the team. We know what his intentions were, and he basically says throughout this entire article that, he never wanted to leave the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was never even in his mind to leave the Toronto Maple Leafs. And that all these rumors that were surrounding him leaving to other teams were all just BS. And they were all he was getting a chuckle out of them, as you'll see here in a minute. So you can keep going down a little bit here. So we all know that if we rewind back to when, some of the rumors were going down, some thought that he was going to, sign with his hometown in Arizona, the Arizona Coyotes. Some thought that he was going to go to, the Los Angeles Kings, the Dallas Stars. Markets, where the Kings and the Stars were expected to be Stanley Cup favorites without the, cold, frosty Toronto winter. But ultimately, he signed his 4-year, $53 million contract. And I'm glad, obviously, he didn't sign with the Coyotes. I remember the rumors. There were rumors, Coyotes, Kings, Stars, other teams as well that got into the mix. You can let me know if you remember any of those teams in the comment section. But he ultimately signed with the Maple Leafs, for 4 years, $53 million. And he's locked up now for the next 4 years, which is obviously phenomenal. And he's a phenomenal player. But it's very, very interesting that, during a time where we all thought that these rumors were very, very possible. We had people tweeting about, sources are telling me that he's interested in signing with the Arizona Coyotes, with the, Dallas Stars, the Los Angeles Kings. And the whole time, Auston Matthews was fully committed to staying with the Maple Leafs. And we all know, and according to Auston Matthews, every time he's come to the media and spoke to the media or anyone in his camp, his family, or his agent, he's always remained committal to the Toronto Maple Leafs, saying he wanted to be there for at least the foreseeable future, if not the rest of his career. And that's what he had to say in a lot of this. He said, so when I see some stuff of the speculation this summer, I get a pretty good chuckle out of it because it's just nonsense, to be honest with you. Look, if you didn't hear from me, you didn't hear from my family, and you didn't hear from my agent, then what are we talking about here? It's just like lies, just like people making stuff up. And he's calling out the media. He's calling out the reporters. Everyone who said they have sources, everyone who says they have things, inside scoop on Auston Matthews, he's basically saying none of that is true. If you didn't hear from my family, me, or my agent, then it is not the case at all. And that's very, very true. Multiple reporters have, agents, inside scoop, people like that. But in this case of Auston Matthews, he is just sitting back and laughing at all the reports that came out saying he didn't want to sign with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And that's what speculation is. Sometimes teams do that to drive up the price, especially in trade scenarios, drive up the price of the player they want to acquire, or the camp of the player will drive up the price of, the team they really want to re-sign with. And maybe that worked out here. All those, sources and all the speculation was driven by the Matthews camp. It's very, very possible that that's true, so that way Matthews could sign a more lucrative extension. He ultimately got 4 years, $53 million, but it's very, very possible. It's a normal tactic and a very common tactic, but Regarding Auston Matthews and the Toronto, it seems like he might stay here for the foreseeable future, if not the rest of his career, based on just how confident and happy he was throughout the entire process of the Maple Leafs and how much he seems to love playing with the team. And he's showing it on the ice with the amount of goals he's been scoring after the back-to-back hat tricks to start the season. And he had a couple more things to say. He says, at this point, I find it more comedic. It doesn't bother me at all. I found it funny because there are so many so-called experts out there who feel they have scoops. If you didn't hear from me, family or agent, where did you hear from, and who exactly is your credible source? And that is very, very true. There are a lot of so-called reporters out there. There are also a lot of reporters who are absolutely legit, but they won't really say a lot of things until the deal is very, very close to done. And in this case, it doesn't seem like there was a deal very, very close to, completion until he obviously signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs. All the speculation in the world, all us Leafs fans were very, very, terrified to agree that Matthews is going to sign elsewhere and not sign the extension that was 4 years. But none of that mattered at the end of the day because he did re-sign with the Maple Leafs. He is committed to this team. He is playing unbelievably. He's one of the best players in the league, probably the best goal scorer in the league, top two for sure. And ultimately, he is sticking around with the Leafs for many years to come, and that is the exciting thing if you're a Leafs fan. But it was interesting to rewind time a little bit and just hear Auston Matthews directly call out the media, the reporters, and everyone else who made us believe that he might not be a Leaf for the foreseeable future. So let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on this and what teams you remember him being in the rumor mill, or maybe what team you personally thought he was going to go to if it wasn't the Toronto Maple Leafs. I would love to hear that. As we move on now to something a bit more relevant to today's date. It is August 26th at the time of recording, and Joseph Woll, not Hall, Joseph Woll is the confirmed starter. So, Mark Masters went out and tweeted that he is the first goalie to leave the ice and that he is expected to be the starter tonight against the Dallas Stars. Now, this is very, very important because a lot of us thought Woll started back-to-back games now, and this will be the third game in a row that he started for the Maple Leafs. And maybe this is a trend of what's to come, a sign of what's to come going forward for the Maple Leafs goalie situation, where Samsonov is kind of the backup guy and Joseph Woll is the starting goalie. That's what I wanted to see. I've made a couple videos on it. That's what most Leafs fans wanted to see. He has won the game against the Lightning for us. He helped us win the game against the Capitals alongside Matthew Nyes, William Nylander, and a couple other guys. Of course, Auston Matthews and, Mitch Marner, all the guys here, John Tavares, all those guys who have helped. But the goalie, the goaltending has been unbelievable since Woll has stepped up to the dish and really has been great his entire Leafs career. So I think he's going to be the starting goaltender going forward. Of course, Samsonov will get some run, especially on back-to-back games, maybe during certain situations to give Joseph Woll some rest. That being said, it seems like this is his third straight game starting, assuming what Mark Masters says is true, and he might just be our confirmed starter going forward, which is all I wanted. It's all most Leafs fans wanted, hoping to give the Dallas Stars their first regulation loss tonight, make them 4-1-1 instead of 4-0-1, and I'm just super excited for tonight's game, and I'm also super excited to see Joseph Woll continue to dominate between the pipes because he has been unbelievable for the Maple Leafs. It's been a joy to watch, and it makes every game so much more exciting when you know you have a goaltender who is on a hot streak and is absolutely dominating. Hopefully he can continue the hot streak tonight against the Stars. But that'll wrap up the video. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. We're pumping out daily content for you guys. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow or later today. Cheers.